just leaving work. I worked from 3 to like a little after 9. And I almost couldn't go. I have been so sick. Literally. So nauseous. So anxious. Because I haven't been able to work in 5 months. And it's like the fear and anxiety of running into anybody I know. I'm working at a place where it seems like a bunch of regulars, and I don't know any of them. I just want to go where fucking no one knows my name. That's how I feel. And it's almost totally uncomfortable. Going back into like a bar restaurant scene and looking at all these people, and it feels like you have to act because these actors are acting like us. You have to become an actor when you have a spiritual awakening. You have to pretend to everybody else that you don't know that we are all God sleeping, pretty much. It's like we're all pieces of God, and our higher selves are us sleeping, projecting consciousness down into little avatar bodies, and everybody who's not spiritually awake, it looks like they're stuck in a nightmare. And the people who are spiritually awake know that they're just in a dream, stuck in a nightmare with everybody else. That's what it feels like. And I guess I have big problems with doctors now who are trapping people in repetitive spirals of psychosis, but they don't even know what the word gnosis is. Gnosis just means total enlightenment. It means you have Christ consciousness, and that Christ oil dripped down your spine and went back up Jacob's ladder, and looks like that's why they have everybody addicted to porn. And I think it's alarming that there are so many straight women right now being a big pillar for the porn industry out here questioning their sexuality, and they're watching lesbian porn. Probably because they're all in their early 30s being looked at heavily by doctors themselves or their family members or friends for having bipolar disorder or having some kind of a disorder, because once you start going through the mental health racket, these are all symptoms of mental disorders. But it looks like symptoms of a spiritual awakening where everybody just kind of goes, well, shit. Nah, you look good. It's so beat. I think this game sucks. I really do. And until I get hypnotized, or until I have a spiritual healer talk directly to Big Me up there, all I know is that I agreed to pull a very short straw a long time ago. And they say spiritual awakenings can take a solid 3 years. And from the moment my ascension or breakdown, my first breakdown happened, which was actually my Dark Night of the Soul stuff, Dark Nights of the Soul, it took me a little under 2 years and one more breakdown, 2 breakdowns, but Yeah, it's kind of breakdown inducing. And being in the position that I'm in, as one of many starseeds who got scraped up by the mental health racket, and I'm still in it. I'm not okay. This has traumatized me so badly. But what are you gonna do? It's kind of like 65% of Americans who are Christians of some sort. And I promise, this is the most gut-wrenching experience that you could ever go through. One of my favorite comedy skits was Bill Burr talking shit on Oprah Winfrey for saying, being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet. I'm an only parent with two almost, teenage kids, and I think that's fucking hilarious. Being a mom is not the most difficult job on the planet. Spiritually awakening, I think that's it. I think that's the most difficult job on the planet. And it makes me really sad to see how many mental health patients are out here offing themselves because their religions are failing them, their friends and family are failing them. Christina Lopes has a great video about how suicide is a side effect of a spiritual battle. And I'm very concerned about the mental health community because I feel like they are so close to spiritually awakening. And I think that they need help. I think that these doctors should stop prescribing antipsychotics and check out what oversouls are and check out entity removal and check out what it looks like, the spiritual battle truly looks like, and what's the root cause of the DSM-5 getting huge. It looks like they're just kind of trying to cover this up. And Dr. Stephen Greer, love this guy. He talks about how when he was 17, he had a near-death experience, and he knows damn well we don't die. Nothing dies. We are just eternal creatures, literally eternal, conscious little pieces of God. And when the government started bullying him, he's like, you can go ahead and kill me. I will be so much bigger of a problem for you dead than I am right now. And then there is David Icke, who gets questions a lot about how the hell he's still alive. And he says things like, they can't kill me. I am not a low frequency being anymore. And when you're not stuck in a low frequency, you're like God. And it's very, very a lot of information. But this cost me a lot. But so I'm getting a new job. I'm literally gonna start over. There are freaking murderers who get let out of prison who have to start new lives. I'm fine. I can start again. And I don't want my family to not know the truth, or what certainly looks like the whole truth and every secret of the universe is that we're like just little pieces of it, stuck in bodies. And a lot of us are just creatures. It's like you don't even know who you could be. When you die, you're free. And these religious people think the people that off themselves are burning in hell. No, those people are actually, their consciousness is being given extra doses of God love, but then they got to come back and try again. It's called living in something called Dharma. Have you ever heard of Dharma? People like to kick around the word karma, but they don't know anything about Dharma. D-H-A-R-M-A. If you've never heard of Dharma, maybe you should look that up. It's another spiritual term that not enough people have heard. And yeah, when you wake up and you realize, oh, all right, I came here as a person by choice, and I'm a higher frequency being of some sort, and I have a mission. When you do not speak out, your consciousness could fall again. You're not doing your job, is what the real game looks like. But unfortunately, they've made the real game look pretty glitzy, glammy in the movies. And as soon as you point it out in the movies, that's like giving you nightmares, because it's actually jogging some sick memories that you don't realize you have from past lives that you're supposed to be healing from. Then they call you schizophrenic, and they call you all kinds of mental disorder names. And then people are just stuck believing that they're just some trashy mental patient. And will never get their pineal gland working. They will never get their pituitary gland working. They will never, ever be able to understand that, oh, actually, there's a very good possibility that your soul is so important, and you're a piece of God, and that's why these people are separating us. Because they do not want God to come back to this world. It's just that God never left. Because who's God? It's us. It's us. And there's a bunch of extraterrestrials. Not a big deal. The gods that everybody are worshiping, they all look like extraterrestrials. Specifically, different types of Anunnaki extraterrestrials. From Nibiru, Planet X. And a lot of people get stuck and they go, okay, so we have this much proven. But where did those Anunnaki come from? Well, it looks like those bad Anunnaki, they fell in consciousness. They fell from good. Because they attacked very good god extraterrestrials called the Lyrans. And we're all just kind of dealing with the fallout from wars in space that lasted a very long time, and there are still wars going on in space and other densities that we can't see. And, yeah. It's a lot of information, but if you take about 3 years and you sift through it, maybe you can get there without having a fucking breakdown, because the 144,000 Hopi prophecy people, I'm sorry, but they're active. Everybody's looking around, watching the Euphrates River dry up, and they're watching all of these biblical prophecies happen. And they're terrified that the world is going to end. And that sucks. There are a lot of religious people living in crippling fear. Now, this Yanuka, Rav Shlomo, whatever his name is, over in Israel, he fits the bill good enough for a lot of people to be viewing him as the Antichrist. A lot of spiritual community members say that the Antichrist is one person. A lot of other spirituality members say that it is a collective and it's fluid, kind of like how everybody who loves Jesus Christ but is innately racist or homophobic, you're accidentally an Antichrist. So it's a lot of information, but just some stupid bartender who's walked around living the life I've lived, which is not that bad compared to others. I have no major childhood trauma besides being fucked with in my sleep by dark entities, which is very indicative of people who are starseeds. It's usually the kids who are afraid to leave their feet hanging off the bed because they're afraid of monsters underneath it. There's videos online of these Zeta Greys getting caught sucking people through their beds. They just vanish them straight through their bed, and then when they're done with them, they put them back up. And then there's a lot of people that are saying that all of these videos are fake, and there's some fake videos, there really is, but there's just too many people talking about the extraterrestrials, and the things I've seen, and how terrible all of this has been for me is, it's really no big deal. It's really not. It sucks. But, I don't want anybody to have to be kneecapped with this kind of information. And, tell me what you believe. I'll custom create you a constellation to the truth. The truth is a lot, and it looks like we, the people, are actually God. And because we are all God, some of us are God extraterrestrial. A lot of people who are God good angel, which looks extraterrestrial. And a lot of people, a lot of evil, shitty people out there are God bad. They could be fallen angels in consciousness. They could be fallen extraterrestrials in consciousness. And it's really hard to tell the difference between angels, demons, and extraterrestrials. It really looks like it's all extraterrestrials. And that hell is a scare tactic. And that heaven is not a very real place. It looks like this is heaven. It's supposed to be. But it's actually on fire and now we're in hell. That's really what it feels like. And I'm going to pull up one of these days or look it up. There are a lot of people waiting on a rapture right now. And I didn't know. I'm telling you what. I knew nothing. I didn't know shit. I feel stupid. For being so blind. But, apparently, when it's time for you to spiritually wake up, win, lose, or draw, if you have a contract to be here, a soul agreement with other good God source out there, right? To come down into this density and try to help people remember that we are sleeping pretty much. And that it really could just be endgame for the bad guys if more people would look at all of this information that I've been talking about, because it looks real. All of that other shit looks real, and I've seen so many people suffering with mental health issues, and I have suffered for almost 2 years. But actually my whole life, just like everybody else. And I want a better world for my kids. Now, Dolores Cannon and others, there are other people as well who speak of some possibility of a new earth splitting. It is a total moment. And it would make sense why the Earth's core isn't spinning anymore if something like that would happen. But, oops, somebody's pulling in. According to Corey Good,